Hello everyone, this is Pooka, and I'm bringing you another game I played on the Pokemon trading card game online. This time I'm going to be facing the one and only Jason Klaczynski, two-time world champion. Yeah, you all know who he is at this point. Excuse me. And we're just playing a friendly game here. Just trying out some stuff with the new cards. So I recorded it without his knowledge, and now I'm posting it online, because that's how the internet works. So, I'm going to be using a weird Regigigas, Tornadus EX, Aspertia City Gym kind of a deck. Basically, I'm just trying to see if Regigigas EX is viable now that the plus 20 hit point stadium is out for colorless Pokemon. Yeah, that one that I just played out there. So yeah, we'll see. I did start with the Sigilyph, which is fairly safe against this Darkrai. You know, he can't really attack me unless he gets either a Sableye or a Terrakion. This is going to be a Darkrai Terrakion deck. So we'll see what happens from there. My deck runs all sorts of crazy stuff, and as you can see in the chat, Jason's asking me why isn't my deck just bad, it should just lose. Which is probably right. This deck does not have anything special about it, it's just kind of a ragtag mix of weird attackers, and we just try to use the right attackers for the right situation. I got Ho-Oh for a little bit of energy acceleration, and yeah, that's really about it. My start has been less than stellar. As you can see, I have no real supporter in my hand, and by real supporter I mean absolutely no supporter. I don't even have energy, so I really just don't have anything going for me. So I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, alright, this is going to be fun. I just sit here. Maybe someday I'll draw like an energy. I need a psychic one to attack. Or a supporter would be cool too. But you know, I could just sit here for a while and do nothing. So he's going to junk hunt with Sableye and get two dark patches back. So I just play Eviolite onto Sigilyph because I figure he might start confuse ring me. And pass. The only way he's going to be able to knock out Sigilyph in this game is going to be with Sableye or Terrakion. That's going to be the easiest one, obviously. But for now, I'm going to be safe. And this is the nice thing about Sigilyph against these Darkrai decks early on. It's going to take a while for him to actually be able to do anything. It's just, he can't do damage. Darkrai can't damage it. And Terrakion just takes too long to power up. It takes, you know, like 2 energy switches, and then, I mean, you need 2 fighting energy to land crush, and then you also need the tool scrapper to get rid of the Eviolite. So, I don't know. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a long game, probably, unless he just drops a Terrakion out of nowhere. But for now, all I can do is just, you know, sit here, not bench any Pokemon until I'm afraid of Terrakion coming down with 3 energy. And, you know, just pass. That's really all I got. You know, I don't know what he's going to do. He can probably junk hunt for, like, Tool Scrapper and then maybe an energy switch, something like that. And we'll just see what happens. I don't know. I don't know how many Terrakions he plays. Usually the norm is 2, so that's something I got to look out for. And, at this point, I play an Ultra Ball. We're going to discard a Ho-Oh and a Regigigas EX. And then I think I'm just going to search for another safe Pokemon. Like something that's not going to be too easy to pick off. And that's going to be Bouffalant. One with the Boofer ability. As you can see, it gets the plus 20 hit points from the Aspertia City Gym. I think that's how you pronounce that. Aspertia? I don't know. Whatever. Plus 20 colorless hit points. Bouffalant now has 120 hit points and the Boofer ability, so the 30 from Night Spear gets reduced down to 10, which makes it super hard for Darkrai to knock out that Bouffalant, which is why he's in the deck. He works very nicely with the gym there. And so Jason's just gonna catcher up the Bouffalant, thinking, all right, he's just gonna try to eliminate all of the non-Sigilyph Pokemon I put down, and then eventually just drop down Terrakion and win the game. So yeah, at this point, I have nothing. I did get a Ho-Oh in the discard pile. That's about it. I have a double colorless energy to my name. And that's it. I got Sigilyph. Sweet. So I'm going to switch to Sigilyph. I could attach the Eviolite to Boufflant, but that does nothing. If he has a catcher, he still knocks me out. 70 plus 50 from Night Spear is still 120. So Boufflant's still not that great against Darkrai unless you have healing cards as well. Even with that stadium out there, it's just not enough. You're going to get knocked out in 2 hits. You need either an Eviolite to stay on there or like potion, stuff like that, which I don't have. So Jason does not appear to have a catcher. He's just going to Tool Scrapper though, and then get a catcher back. And hey, a Psychic Energy. Sweet. Alright, so now I can start to actually attack. What is this, turn 4? I get to attack. Alright, Psychic 460. It's kind of weird that he has not gotten Terrakion into play yet. I mean, could be prized. First of all, I don't know how many he plays. It could just be 1. It could be 2. You expect most people play 2. So maybe both could be prized. You would think he would just kind of go for it. You know, you might be afraid that it would get catchered, but if he... I don't know, if he had it, he would just probably put it down. So he's got 2 fighting energy in play. So I always have to be scared of the possibility that he drops down Terrakion, 2 energy switches, and then attaches and land crushes me for 90. Sigilyph only has 90, does not resist fighting, so Terrakion still knocks it out in 1 hit. I know he has the Tool Scrapper in his hand, so I'm just going to hold on to the Eviolite. Don't want to get it discarded for no reason. I'll wait until I play an N or something like that. But I benched the Tornadus EX, which is actually fairly nice with the plus 20 hit points. It gets 190 hit points now. So it makes it a lot tougher for Darkrai to knock out, that's for sure. You know, it's not going to be a 2-hit knockout with Night Sphere. That's pretty much the big thing that the Espiritia City Gym gives you. Whereas, you know, if you have Eviolite, it could get Tool Scrappered and then you get knocked out in 2 hits by Night Spear still. But with that stadium out there, as long as they don't have a counter stadium, which 99% of Darkrai decks won't, then you're fine. You're going to live, you'll have 10 hit points left, and Tornadus EX is going to be a pretty powerful attacker. You know, he's going to stay out there for a while. So Jason gets back a catcher and a Dark Patch. I draw a potion, and at this point I'm thinking, well, you know, I don't want to attack because then I just walk into Retaliate and then I probably lose. But at the same time, I need to get cards. I need to get something off a prize. So I take the knockout on the Sableye, and I'm pretty much just conceding to a loss at this point. Again, I don't attach the Eviolite because he has the Tool Scrapper in his hand. I know that. He used Junk Hunt for it. So he's going to catcher out this Tornadus EX. Dark Patch. He's going to have a bunch of Darkrai's powered up. That is pretty scary. It's not something I'm looking forward to. And, you know, he's just going to Night Spear me for 90. I do have a switch, so I'll be able to switch back to Sigilyph and Psychic again. So that will be useful. I finally got a Skyla, so I can Skyla for a supporter, and then finally start to do things. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to have to play the switch this turn, that's for sure. And go from there. We're going to play that full art Skyla and grab... Just going to look through my deck. Just see what I have. I really don't expect to win this game, but you know, we'll give it a shot, I guess. He still hasn't been able to knock out Sigilyph. I still have pretty much everything left in my deck, so I'm just gonna grab an N. Why not? And then switch out to Sigilyph. And I could potion the Tornadus EX. I'll just wait till the next turn though. And then we're going to Psychic for 60. And Jason says, oh my god, it looks like I finally got a supporter. At this point, I really don't expect to win. There's another catcher, which is fine. He's now used... I can't actually remember how many he's used because he junk hunted for a lot of them. But he's going to be able to hit me up to, let's see, 180 damage. So then I'll just potion, and we'll go from there. I might want to add max potion into this deck in the future, just because healing off a Tornadus EX with 180 damage on it is pretty awesome. But this is the first time I built this deck, so we'll see. I still got to work on it. This is my first draft of this deck. So I'm definitely going to use the potion so that I don't get knocked out by the 30 damage from Night Spear. I'm going to drop the Eviolite onto Sigilyph because now I can end him and disrupt the Tool Scrapper. I could Ultra Ball away a couple of those Pokemon so I don't draw into them again, but I might need them. So I don't do that. Now I draw a Switch and a double colorless. I think I would rather just retreat with the double colorless, honestly. The Switch is going to be more useful overall. Just going to be more versatile as the game goes on. If I need to switch between Pokemon. And then I'm just going to retreat to Sigilyph and Psychic for another 60 and a knockout. So Sigilyph is taking 3 prizes at this point. It's pretty weird. And there we go. Psychic for 60. So I still don't have a supporter in this hand either. Pretty awesome. I get another N. That can help me. Could also disrupt him, and oh, he gets a Tool Scrapper. And at this point, I'm like, oh no. He's going to get the Tool Scrapper, the Terrakion, the Energy Switch, the Energy, and oh, he plays an Energy Switch, so never mind. And he plays an N, which I'm okay with. I draw N, Bianca, and a Grass. That's fine. He's just going to retreat to Sableye. And looks like he'll probably junk hunt again. This is a funny game, that's for sure. At this point I realize, okay, he must have Terrakion prized. There's no way he would be kind of going around Sigilyph this much. You would obviously just try to knock it out here. And Terrakion would hit the board at some point, right? So this is kind of a weird situation where you have to realize that one of your opponent's things are prized just by the way he's playing the matchup. But we'll see. Now I draw a Juniper, and I have a Bianca and an N. I think I'm just going to play the Juniper to get more cards. And that is one colorful hand, I suppose. Wow. I don't even know what to make of that. That's... Huh. Okay. Interesting. I have 4 Pokemon, 2 catchers, and a Grass Energy. So I'm going to catcher out a Darkrai EX just to do 60 to it, soften it up. I want to put an energy somewhere, I don't know where. I could attach to that Tornadus EX. I don't really want to bench another Tornadus EX right now, because I don't have the cards to really do much with it. I don't want to bench Shaman EX, that's for sure. I don't want to bench Terrakion because it could just get catchered and stuck. And so I'm just going to attach the Tornadus EX, which was probably a wasted attachment, to be honest. Should have just held on to that. But I'm going to just go ahead and Psychic for 60. Attaching the Grass there was not a good idea. He's going to catcher up this Tornadus EX. I knew he had that, so it was just kind of silly. But benching any of those other Pokemon would be just as bad. So I guess I just kind of got antsy. I wanted to play down energy. And we have another N right before he takes 2 prizes, so that's going to be good for him. And now, poor Tornadus EX is probably going down here. Let's see. Just going to take a look at how many resources he's gone through, and he's going to Night Spear me for 90, and then 0 to Sigilyph because of that nifty Safeguard ability. Alright, now this turn, I can put down another Tornadus EX. In fact, I have to put down a Pokemon because the double energy switch Terrakion is looming. And Jason is saying he cheated. His Terrakion was prized the last time we played, and it was in the same spot. He noticed that the prizes were the same as they were the last game. So what a cheater. I'm just kidding. I don't know how you can actually know that. But, yeah, this turn I need to put down Tornadus EX, put the fighting on it, just in case of Terrakion land crushing me, otherwise I lose the game. Tornadus EX is fairly safe from being knocked out anytime soon. So I'm just going to Psychic for 60 and roll with it. I could have catchered out that other Darkrai, but I would rather just soften 2 of them up. If I had 2 catchers, then I would catcher that one out. He's just going to retreat it otherwise. So I'm just going to hit this one for 60. And we'll go from there. He gets an Eviolite. So that's going to make Psychic only do 40 now. Between the Resistance and the Eviolite. That's pretty annoying. And still no Terrakion. So that's kind of weird. Now, I have the catcher here. I'm probably going to catcher out that Darkrai without the Eviolite, so I can hit that one for 60. Maybe soften that one up. Or I can just save the catcher for later. It looks like that's the route I'm deciding to go with. And I do draw a Tool Scrapper, so that's pretty nice. I can now Tool Scrapper and discard the Eviolite off as active, which is neat. And then Jason says, I mean, what Terrakion? I didn't get that off my prizes. So yeah, I'm just going to retreat to the Sigilyph. Just going to take a look at what he's used so far. It looks like 2 energy switches, so I don't know. We'll keep the Eviolite for now. See what happens. Don't really need it immediately. I'm going to use it right when I get a knockout. That's when I want to use my Eviolite. So at this point, you know, I've Tool Scrappered away his Eviolite. He's only got 68 points left, but there's 2 Eviolites. Oh, nah, it's gonna make this a lot tougher for poor Sigilyph to get anything done. That's for sure. And you know, honestly, Sigilyph has been my hero this game. And Jason also puts down a Keldeo EX. It's kind of a weird tech that he put in there to work against stuff like Paralysis against Tynamo and Excelgor, because you can just kind of rush in and then put a Dark on it and then free retreat. It's a neat little tech. I don't know how useful it actually is, but clever thinking at the very least. But yeah, you know, he does not have a way to deal with Sigilyph right now. This is the weirdest thing I've seen. Honestly, I haven't been able to use much of my deck. Just Sigilyph, Tornadus, and a Bouffalant as well. But this one little safeguard guy is really getting the job done. And Jason seems to be confused. He must not have a catcher. If he did, then he would just take the knockout this turn, I'm sure. I mean, why not? Right? You can just get the knockout, take down the Tornadus EX, and that's that. So he's going to retreat to Sableye, probably just get a catcher for sure, and he puts a Dark on the Keldeo, so he might be thinking about using Secret Sword for 50 at some point. He's done 90 to that Tornadus EX. It's got 100 hit points left, so he could hit that twice with Keldeo EX, which would be a weird situation. But yeah, that's a possibility, I suppose. And we're just going to see another Sableye Sigilyph standoff. This is kind of weird. Maybe I should consider adding plus power to my deck just to improve the Sigilyph Sableye war, where I can hit him for 70 with Psychic with a plus power. But alright, I draw a Skyla here. This is going to be a weird decision, guys. Okay. So I can Skyla for a Tool Scrapper and get rid of both those Eviolites, or I can Skyla for a Supporter. And at this point, pretty much thinking, you know, if I grab a Supporter, it might be too late. I might as well just take the Tool Scrapper, catcher out that Darkrai I've done 122, and finish it off. I'm just kind of looking to see what I have left. You know, this is my last Tool Scrapper. We got 2 catchers left in here, so things are actually looking pretty good for me resource-wise. It's just the matter of I have a ton of cards left, so when I get end, I'm going to lose. So I'm going to Tool Scrapper both the Eviolites, catcher out Darkrai, and also I can drop Eviolite on my Sigilyph to protect it from a Retaliate knockout. So hey, I want to be down to 1 prize here. That play was pretty much YOLO, you know. I could have gone the conservative route with a Supporter there, but nope. Sigilyph only lives once. You know, he uses his life wisely. He's got a safeguard just in case. But, you know, if he ever meets a Terrakion in a dark alley, it's not going to be pretty for him. That's for sure. But we'll see what Jason does now. I am down to 1 prize. I've literally only attacked with Sigilyph this entire game. He random receivers for a Juniper. We can see the Terrakion and a computer search is in there. And then random receivers for an N. So I have 2 cards in my hand. I mean, I don't know what the difference is between ending me and him just playing a Juniper. He's going to catcher out the Tornadus. He might just play the N here because it's going to be right before he takes 2 prizes. So he'll go to 3 cards and then take 2 more from his prizes. He retreats to the Keldeo, and now energy switches. So he's going for it. He's gonna end me to 1. I draw a Mewtwo. Now if I draw an energy, this plan is pretty much foiled. Oh, actually I forgot he could not Night Spear me for a knockout, so that's kind of cool. I have 190 hit points, so a Night Spear would not even knock me out. Wasn't even thinking of that, but he's going to try to strand this Tornadus EX active, hope I don't have an energy. I should have a ton of energy left. Even drawing an energy switch would work, because I could get Ho-Oh, and then Rebirth, energy switch up to Tornadus EX, and then just retreat and Psychic. That is super risky though, because then I would put another Pokemon on my field for Jason to knock out. And I draw Regigigas EX. Not going to help me out right now. And so Jason says, owned. My Tornadus EX got stuck to be knocked out by a Keldeo EX with 3 Dark Energy on it. You're not going to see this every day, folks. That's for sure. I'm going to say, yep, but my hand looks sweet, and it sure does. Take a look at that Regigigas and that Mewtwo. Looking pretty awesome. Jason says, yeah, owned by Keldeo with dark. No water energy. If this is not one of the strangest games you've seen, I don't know what you've been watching or playing, honestly. This is not how most Pokemon games go, that's for sure. Especially nowadays. But when you got a Sigilyph, a Spiritia City Gym deck against a Darkrai, Terrakion, Keldeo deck, well, I don't know what to expect. So at this point, I'm just assuming that Jason's going to just knock me out with Secret Sword, and we'll go from there. I don't really know. This is just dumb. These are the kind of games that Jason and I play. If you've ever watched us play before, I've streamed those games before. All of our games kind of just come down to these silly, almost stalemate positions where anything can go wrong either way. You know, just like a 1-card thing can change the game. Just one little mistake can be game over. They're long and drawn out games most of the time, which is fun. I like these games. They're kind of silly to play in, but it's a lot better than just trading one-hit knockouts back and forth and Night Spearing all the time. So Jason, he's contemplating his decision. I don't know what decision there really is here. It's either Junk Hunt or knock me out with Secret Sword. And yep, he's going to Secret Sword for the knockout for 50 damage. That's embarrassing almost. So at this point I still don't have anything. I draw double colorless, so that's going to make things interesting. But I don't want to bench either of these Pokemon. I want to force him to get 2 fighting on a Terrakion with 2 energy switches and win that way. If I bench the Mewtwo, he can catcher that out, Night Spirit, and then I lose. It's pretty much all there is to it. If I bench the Regigigas, same thing. It can get catchered out. It's going to take him 3 hits, but I don't have any more energy. So I can still lose, even though it has 200 hit points. So now I just don't know. Well, we'll see what he's going to do. You know, he's got plenty of time. Well, not plenty of time. He's got like a turn to Junk Hunt to get stuff. And then he's going to confuse Ray, actually. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no. So he's going to confuse me. He says owned. Alright, this is so weird. So now I have a weird decision. If I attack and get tails, then all he has to do is, because I would put 3 damage on myself for confusion if I flip tails. What happens is that he can just put down Terrakion then and Land Crush for the win if he has 2 energy switches. If I flip heads, then I win because I'm just going to drop a Mewtwo and double colorless and X-Ball for the game next turn. So I still don't know who wins at this point. This is such a weird game. Sigilyph confused. Solo Sigilyph. Just kind of on his own out there. You know, he's a weird looking dude, but he can handle his own. And at this point, I'm actually kind of frustrated because I cannot see my discard pile. The game just does not allow me to see it sometimes, so I'm clicking on it, and I can't see it. So I'm asking Jason if he can see it, how many different types of energy are in my discard pile. If there's 3, then I want to use Ho-Oh to Rebirth, because if I get heads, then I get to do 80 with Rainbow Burn. I'm pretty sure there's no Psychic in there. I only play 3 different types of energy in this deck: Psychic, Fighting, Grass. So there's 2 Grass, 2 Fighting in my discard. I think, yeah, sure. Or maybe, oh, he's saying in his discard. But I'm pretty sure there's no Psychic in my discard pile. If there was, I would use Rebirth. And then it's just a heads retreat to Ho-Oh, game over. So I think I'm just going to pass. If I get tails, I open myself up to being land crushed. Yeah, I did pass. And then he just junk hunted. And oh, energy switch. I win. I tell Jason owned. I can just energy switch onto either Mewtwo or Regigigas. I gotta give Regigigas the nod because he's my boy in this deck. And he is the man. And he's gonna put the beat down. And Jason's, I don't know what's about to happen, but it's bad. And I'm gonna Giga Power for 80 with the monster Regigigas. And that's gonna be the game. I don't know what happened here, but that's gonna be the game. Sigilyph, Regigigas won the game. I really don't know how to explain this game at all, but this is just what can happen with Pokemon sometimes. You get weird games, and you have to kind of think your way out of it. And that is exactly what happened here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match. It was a weird one. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.